Two F-150s, same year, same 150,000 miles on the odometer. One's got the 3.5 EcoBoost, the other's got the 5.0 Coyote Phi 8. I've had both of these engines on my lift more times than I can count. Add up every fill-up and every repair bill to that number on both trucks, and the EcoBoost owner comes out roughly $3,000 ahead at the pump alone, while the Coyote owner spent it on nothing but oil changes and spark plugs. Neither one of those owners is wrong about which truck was the smarter buy. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what each engine actually costs to run to 150,000 miles. Not the sticker, not the marketing, the real number, and which one of these two owners you actually are. Nobody selling you either one of these trucks walks you through this math. Ford's brochure tells you the EcoBoost saves gas. It won't tell you what CSP21N03 was or that it expired 3.5 years ago. The dealer moving a naturally aspirated V8 will tell you it's simpler and leave it right there. Simpler isn't the same as free. The first number, what each truck actually burns to 150,000 miles. Here's the math, on the table, no rounding in anyone's favor. Call it 20 miles per gallon combined for the 3.5 EcoBoost, 18 for the 5.0 Coyote. That's the real-world gap most owners actually see, not the optimistic sticker number. Gas is sitting right around $3.75 a gallon nationally as of this summer. To 150,000 miles, the EcoBoost burns 7,500 gallons, $28,125. The Coyote burns roughly 8,300 gallons, $31,250. Here's where it gets interesting. That's $3,125 in the EcoBoost's favor before either truck has a single repair. Broken down to cost per mile, that's about 18.75 cents a mile for the EcoBoost against about 20.83 cents a mile for the Coyote. A 2-cent gap that doesn't look like much until you multiply it by 150,000. Spread across a normal 12,500 miles a year, that's about $260 a year, a little over $20 a month, that the V8 owner is paying at the pump that the EcoBoost owner isn't. Result? The smaller turbocharged engine wins the fuel argument outright every year you own it. No exceptions. $28,125 versus $31,250 to 150,000 miles. That is the math, and unlike almost everything else in this video, it never flips. Rain or shine, tow or no tow. The second number, what the EcoBoost can cost you if you ignore it. The 3.5 EcoBoost's weak points are well documented at this point. Cam phaser wear shows up as a rattle on cold start, and Ford ran a customer satisfaction program for it, CSP21N03, that covered the repair. That program expired January 1st, 2023. If you're buying one of these trucks used today, that protection has been gone for 3.5 years, and a phaser job now runs $1,200 on the low end up to $4,500 if the timing chain has to come out with it. And it gets worse. This engine runs twin turbos, and this platform has shown a roughly 12% turbo failure rate in the 90,000 to 130,000 mile window, right in the heart of this comparison. One turbo replacement runs $1,500 to $2,500, both at once, because a shop will tell you the second one is close behind the first, $3,000 to $8,000. There's a cheap insurance policy here. The wastegate solenoid, Ford Part DL 3Z-9J 559-A is a $35 to $65 part, and a failing one is what throws the overboost and underboost codes that lead to a dead turbo. Watch that part and you head off the expensive failure. Ignore it and you're rolling the dice on an $8,000 afternoon. Add the direct injection carbon buildup this engine is prone to, a walnut blasting service every 60,000 to 100,000 miles, $200 to $600 depending on the shop. And that's the EcoBoost's entire preventive list. I had a 2019 F-150 come in at 118,000 miles. Owner never watched a boost code, drove it hard, and towed a fifth wheel every summer. Both turbos gone, phasers rattling on cold start, $7,800. He'd saved less than that at the pump over the exact same miles. Result? A few $100s in prevention keeps this engine's fuel savings intact and you never meet its expensive side. Skip all of it, And the same engine that saved you $3,125 in gas can hand every dollar of it back in one turbo failure. That is the trade. Now here's the part of this video that actually matters more than either engine's badge. You've just heard what the EcoBoost can cost you if you ignore it. The Coyote has its own version of that same story coming up next, because the engine everyone assumes is simple has its own way of turning into a five-figure bill. Hit subscribe now, because once both ledgers are on the table, I'm adding every number up for real. And the gap between the smart owner and the unlucky owner turns out to be bigger than the gap between the two engines. The third number: what the Coyote can cost you if you ignore it. This is where most people get it completely wrong. Naturally aspirated, no turbos, and the assumption is that this engine just doesn't have a weak point. It has three: the twin independent variable. Cam timing system pushes engine oil into 4 cam phasers, and dirty oil clogs the VCT solenoids that control it. That shows up first as a cold start rattle that clears in 2 or 3 seconds. Let that rattle run past 7 seconds, and you're not looking at a solenoid anymore. You're looking at the phasers themselves, a $3,500 to $6,000 job instead of a $150 to $300 solenoid. There's also a coolant T-fitting behind the intake that cracks and gets misdiagnosed as a failed water pump more often than it should. A $20 to $50 fitting turns into a $400 to $650 water pump job because a shop didn't look closely enough. And the Gen 3 block, 2018 and up, uses a plasma-sprayed bore coating that cannot be honed or rebored. Some of the worst documented oil consumption complaints on this engine cluster around the 2018 model year specifically. If consumption ever gets bad enough to score those bores, there's no repair. It's a full short block, and a shop is going to quote $7,000 to $9,000 once labor and machine work are added to the part itself. I had a 2018 F150 5.0 come in at 96,000 miles. Owner changed the oil like clockwork, but never asked why it needed a quart added between visits. Bores scored, rings couldn't seal anymore. Full short block, $8,400. And that was supposed to be the simple engine. I need to be fair to both of these engines here. Neither one of them is Ford's old 5.4 Triton, where spark plugs actually blew clean out of the cylinder head under warranty. Neither one of these two is falling apart before 100,000 miles. The Coyote's failure points are real, but they're also rare and cheap to prevent. Same as the EcoBoosts. Result: watch your oil, don't ignore a rattle past 7 seconds, and don't let a coolant fitting get misdiagnosed. And this engine's reputation for simplicity holds up. Ignore all three, and the simple V8 can hand you a bill just as large as anything the turbo engine produces. This isn't a bulletproof engine versus a grenade. It's two different lists of cheap insurance and two different worst-case bills if you skip paying for it. That is the trade. The fourth number: what each owner actually pays to 150,000 miles. Stay with me, because this is the number this whole video was built around. Start with the smart owner, the one who does the cheap stuff on time. EcoBoost, $28,125 in fuel, plus roughly $665 in preventive parts and service, a wastegate watch, and a walnut blast. Total, about $28,790. Coyote, $31,250 in fuel, plus roughly $350 in preventive parts, a VCT solenoid, and a coolant fitting. Total, about $31,600. The EcoBoost owner who stays ahead of the cheap stuff is roughly $2,800 ahead at 150,000 miles, and that gap is almost entirely the fuel savings. Now the unlucky owner, the one who skips the cheap stuff and loses the bet. EcoBoost, that same $28,125 in fuel, plus a phaser job and a pair of turbos. Somewhere between $35,000 and $41,000, all in. Coyote, $31,250 in fuel, plus a phaser job, or, in the rare worst case, a short block. Somewhere between $37,000 and $46,000, all in. Even unlucky, the EcoBoost's fuel savings soften the blow. But the range on both sides is wide enough that luck, not engine choice, is doing most of the work by the time either truck crosses 6 figures on the odometer. The fifth number isn't a number, it's which owner you are. But don't stop there, because the honest verdict depends on what you actually do with the truck. If you commute long miles on the highway and you're the kind of owner who tracks maintenance intervals, the EcoBoost's fuel savings are close to free money. Take it and watch that wastegate solenoid. If you tow heavy on a regular basis and you want the fewest possible parts working against you under sustained load and heat, the naturally aspirated V8 carries less complexity under that stress, even though its own weak points aren't zero. And if you're buying either one of these trucks used and you don't know the maintenance history, remember, CSP21N03 has been expired since January 2023. Whatever phaser protection existed on the EcoBoost side is already gone, so price that truck like the risk is on you now, not Ford. Those two trucks from the start of this video, the ones that both hit 150,000 miles, the EcoBoost owner and the Coyote owner were both right about their own truck, and both would have been wrong to assume the other one made a mistake. The only real mistake is buying either engine and skipping the 2 or 3 cheap things that keep you out of the expensive column. Check the build date on your driver's door sticker and comment it below, along with your mileage and which engine you're running. I want to see how many of you have already had the phaser or turbo conversation with a shop, and how many are still sitting in the smart owner column. Which extended warranties actually pay out on a turbo or a short block without an argument, and which ones find a reason to deny the claim. That's the next video. Watch it before you buy coverage on either one of these trucks.